Jim Cummings.
Oh, good. That's good. Hello. Good morning.
Morning.
How are we doing so far? All right. Now where were we? Oh, yeah. That's right. So here we are, all alone, together. And I'm pretty sure this is the part where I talk about things like how the heck I do what I do and stuff like that. And the problem is, I don't know. I just don't know. It's the bare naked truth is this is all the stuff that used to get me kicked out of class, you know. What can I tell you? I learned more in the hallway and in Sister Mary Agnes's office than in the classroom. And I actually did that thing, and Peggy Sue got married where they. Remember that new thing she went back in time or something. She was 16 and had to take an algebra test. She told the teacher, "Well, you know what? I happen to know for a fact that I'll never use this. I was stupid enough to do that in real life." And I told that to Sister Ellen Rose, and I said, "I just am shooting for like the lowest D you have because I will never do algebra." And I was right, and so was she, and I failed. So I'm stuck doing this now, see? So watch out for Sister Ellen Rose and algebra. It's probably not a really good role model there. But anyway, you know, I would be the kid in the back of the classroom, you know, and Mr. Cummings, we don't have dolphins. On a grade score. Maybe your mother and father would like to hear your dolphin. That would be fun, wouldn't it? And sure enough, it wasn't. So, you know, I was always a kid. I was always in plays, and it was, did you train? Probably just by accident, by being the annoying little weasel that I was. I was accidentally, you know, training or studying for it. You know, I'd be in the play, and you know, I'd be like 12, and I don't know. Instead of being the prince, I'd want to be the sorcerer. You know. Because I think the sorcerer was having more fun. He was back in the cave and he was conjuring and he was doing bad English accents. So was I. They're all from England. I think it's probably because they sound foreign, but we can still understand the concepts. So I've always thought that. Anybody ever notice all the ancient Romans were from England? How could that be? Even the ancient Egyptians. I go, you've got to be kidding me. You're the Pharaoh? Yes, of course I'm the Pharaoh. Why are you talking like that?
Because I'm 10.
So, you know, that's what I did. And then, you know, I was a lifelong musician. Well, since I'm 13, I've been a professional. Because I got $10 to play at Our Lady of Mount Carmel Social Mixer something when I was 13. And this is great! I got $10 for playing drums and singing songs. I sing for free anyway. So I ended up just kind of mixing that together because I do a lot of singing too, and I joke around. I say I'm a stunt singer. A lot of actors can't sing, and a lot of singers can't act, and I can't do either. So let me do both. So you know, I got that going on. But you know, it's just a fun thing. Oh, it's Lee's here from California Raisins. Do anybody remember that?
California.
Yeah, a lot of people go, you know, it depends on the age. They go, what is it now? Shut up. But anyway, and then, you know, I always knew that I was going to do this because I saw, I remember my dad, I said yesterday, I remember my dad, we saw, I want to say it was like a Jack Benny program or something, and it was Mel Blanc on there. And you could hear something like that in the back of his voice a little bit, like, you know, and there had a little bumps in his regular voice there. And my dad goes, "See that guy right there? That's Bugs Bunny. That's Daffy Duck." And I was thinking, man, that's him. Wow, geez, he's making a living, and people will like this guy doing the crap that people yell at me for. And I want to be him. I'm tired of them yelling at me. So I took the dolphins, who are sometimes squirrels. And then, I'm talking about Shaft. Where I was going with that, did I mention I have Tourette's? No! Anyway, you know, I always wanted to be like an artist, which I did. I ended up designing and painting Mardi Gras floats. Weird gig, great gig though, and for a few years, and I knew I was either going to be, you know, like a drummer, a singer, an actor, a painter. I wasn't going to be a dancer. That's something else. You don't want to see me dance. But so I kind of worked on all that stuff, and it just ended up working out, I guess. And now I get to hang out with you guys. So hi, everybody. I'll be right back. But you know, people say, well, how do you come up with this? How do you come up with that? And one thing that I've said this many times is I did impressions of my relatives. And my Uncle Sam, God rest his soul, every now and then I'll call up my cousins, who was still back in Youngstown where I was born, and I'll say, well, your dad's going to be a dragon on this thing, you know, that's coming up on this after-school special or something. Because my Uncle Sam, you know, where do you get these voices? Well, Uncle Sam was one of them. And I swear to God, he talked just like this. And he was this old Italian guy from 99. I'm sorry, what did you say, Uncle Sam? I said, you shut the hell up and quit doing dolphin sounds. What's the matter with your kid, Bob? And Jesus, Horatio Christ, that was Satan, shut up. And so that was how I talked. And so he's every Uncle Sam, you don't know why. It's his fault. And then there was my Aunt Grace, and God rest her soul too. Man, they're sitting up there going, But you know, whenever they would come up with something, I remember a lot of Chippendale Rescue Rangers. Aunt Grace. Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, well, it was Chippendale. Stop thinking. Aunt Grace was Lieutenant. Is that Chippendale Rescue? We'll be singing songs later. Oh yeah, we're gonna do this. And but Aunt Grace was Lieutenant Spinelli on Chippendale Rescue Ranger, because Aunt Grace always, she just sounded like, you know, somebody who has sustained a mild head injury. But she was there like, you can understand her. But howsoever, I'm sorry, what were we talking about? You know, and so that was Aunt Grace, and that's just how she sounded to me. But it didn't sound exactly like her. But I knew it was her, and her kids, my cousins are probably crazy about the fact that I did that to her mom. But nobody else knew who the hell Aunt Grace and Uncle Sam were, is the point. And so they were characters. Bad impressions equal new characters. See? You know, if you do like the world's worst Christopher Walken, and, you know, it still sounds like someone who's marginally insane and, you know, enjoys strangling you slowly, then it's okay if it's not a dead-on Christopher Walken. It's another crazy guy that they'll allow you to record and put in someone's cartoon. You know. That's funny. Although I did have, you know, Pooh, I have this honey pot of my tuchus. I want you to have it. Christopher. Christopher Robin. It's just not right. You had to got that going for us. And then, but no, when it comes to, because now the thing about taking over classic characters, I've done that. I've done a few of those. I've been Pooh since '87, so it's kind of mostly me now, I guess. And Tigger, back and forth, kind of 50-50, because at one point, Paul, who, you know, deceased, God bless, he was going back and forth. Paul Winchell, I got to tell you about Paul Winchell. He was a crazy guy. Isn't he the greatest guy? What a hell of a guy. I mean, you know, think about it. He was Knucklehead Smith, Tigger, and invented the artificial heart. It's a natural progression. What else would you do? Well, let me see. What should I do? I don't know. I invent the artificial heart. Perfect. What? I can't believe I didn't think that myself. But he was a pretty amazing guy. And at one point, when we first started the Winnie the Pooh series, the New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, this is back in the late '80s, he was like there 50-50. He was there half the time and not half the time. And he was a hell of a guy. He decided that he could, remember at that time in the Sudan and over in Biafra, there was a horrible drought and a horrible famine. And Tigger, Knucklehead Smith, Paul Winchell, decided that he could come up with something, and there's in the Mississippi River, come up with something to help stave off this, the famine and starvation. There's kind of these little mud puppies, they're like big fat giant salamanders. They're not a real popular pet item, but they can live in spit and dirt. And so he thought he would go over there and make little like fish farms and create these things out in the middle of the desert. They could raise them in wading pools and everything. And he would go over there and he would get funding and he would do this. I didn't think it worked very well, but and then they would lose funding and say, you know, Paul, you're crazy. You should go back to America. And then I wasn't Tigger anymore because he was back. So you know, I was kind of like 50-50. But since then, I've been Tigger as well. And that's one thing when you're taking it. See, the thing about it, it's like Tasmanian Devil, Mel Blanc's character. You have to. The thing is, you have to sound just like it, and it's a sound first. Like Taz is like, you know, you can do an impression of it, but as long as you can go, that's Taz right there. It grows out of that DNA. Oh, Taz. And they say you're there. We can all be Taz. There's a little Taz in everybody. We can all go. And so the idea with a classic character that's been established is to just sound like it. I think the first thing starts with sound like Tigger would be, no, oh. It's sort of like a falsetto with grains of sand on it. It's a little early for Pooh. Sorry, he's going to sound a little like Christopher Lloyd. But that's the first thing, and then you kind of have to maintain the character and the spirit of the critter, and then from there you can kind of make it your own. Like there's a lot of things I've done with Pooh that were never done before, but there were only like I think 5 little shorts prior to, because they took off like 20 years between the '60s. The original Pooh, I mean, I was in the audience, you know, and quick side story, my little brother was a big Winnie the Pooh fan, and I was like 9 years older than him, so he was fair game. And I go, you know Pooh means crap, huh? Winnie the crap. Well, so now I'm Winnie the crap.
That's common.
Just shows to go, yeah. But so there's that. But you know, and you just have to be true to the original character and then move forward from there. And but with the new characters, how you develop the new guys, like well, once upon a time there was a duck. And he was a pretty cool guy. I'm nuts about him. And you know, they send out the casting call, and me and everybody else in the world goes and joins in, and they go, first of all, it's not Daffy. But he looks a lot like Daffy. No, he doesn't look at all like Daffy. That's what I meant to say. He doesn't look at all. You know, and it was kind of like the Scarlet Pimpernel and Batman put together. And the thing was, they didn't want him to sound like real cartoony, like, rah, 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 you know, it wasn't like it. No. We're going to be trying to be semi-serious with this guy because he's a detective and he's a superhero, but he doesn't have any powers. He's kind of more of a Batman-y superhero, a gimmicky guy, and he's very, very sarcastic, and he's very short-tempered, and what else? Oh, he is the terror that flaps in the night. Across the windshield of crime. Say it with me. And
Duckwing Duck!
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You know, next thing you know, you're doing 100 or so of those episodes, and so you know, it's just so much fun. And another one I liked developing was Ray from Princess and the Frog. New Orleans is like my adopted hometown, and it was just so great because you know, I'll tell you a quick story about this. It's so stupid, but you know, I'm kind of halfway from New Orleans because I moved there when I was right out of high school, and you know, I mean, I'm a foodie. I like to cook, you know, and so it's got Zydeco music, it's got Cajun music. And I was a deckhand on a riverboat for a long time as a kid, and I would be like the only guy on the boat and they were all born in America, but English was their second language. And you know, and it's weird, you know, the Cajuns down there. I mean, I would be there, and I would be like the only, you know, English speaker, first English speaker, and there's the little boy, what you get out down there, boy, is better. You got to put it on the food, take it over there, stove it like that. Then you get up there, you got to tie it up, right? Why are you standing there? And I'm so sorry, what the hell did you say? And all they asked me to do was go change the battery and tie it up to the front bar. It's like, well, why didn't you say that? Okay. So, you know, I knew that Ray was going to be a Cajun, and he was going to be singing, and he was going to be a Zydeco. And so they said you had to come and bring a Cajun love song to sing. And so I couldn't think of it, but then I remembered that Leon Russell had a song on one of his albums, Carney, called "A Cajun Love Song." So I showed up at the audition, and I said, "Well," they go, "Well, did you bring, because it's a singing gig, did you bring some music?" And I go, "Yeah, a Cajun love song." They go, "Good. Which one?" "A Cajun love song." And I go, "Yeah, I know. Well, what's the name of it?" "No, that's the name of it. A Cajun love song." You go, "Oh, okay." So I sang that song, and I did my little bit of Ray there, and quick aside, it ended up in the movie. Apparently it was on key, you know, it was a cappella, and it was the one, "Oh, take a leak, come along, take two, we're back in the bayou around fishing time." And and while Ray is untying their tongues, that's him singing in there. And it was like literally the first words out of my mouth is Ray, and they put it in the movie. I was really flattered. I was so happy. I was so proud. And so they go, "Wow, you didn't stink at all." And I go, "Thank you," because that's always, you got that going for you. And I went back, and they called up, Disney called up my agent and said, "Well, Jim did pretty good, you know, he didn't stink at all." And so we're not even going to call him back unless we have somebody else that's there. And see, here's the thing. You know, my face isn't very famous at all, which is just fine. But, you know, the voices can be, but a lot of times they have to hire somebody a face guy. Anybody can be good if you can use your face. But, you know, so I joked around, and I told her, I said, "Oh, so that's good. It'll be like in 6 months, it'll be me against Harry Connick Jr. And he sings. And then it'll be him on the Tonight Show or Craig Ferguson or whoever attacking the movie because he's got the face and everything." So like 6 months went by, and I'm sitting there and my agent called back, "Oh, they're ready for your call back. It's just you and one other guy." And she goes, "Do you remember what you said back in January?" And it's like June. And I go, "No." She goes, "Remember about you and another guy?" And I go, "Oh, get out." You go, "Yeah, you and Harry Connick Jr." I said, "Damn." "Really?" She goes, "Yeah." I said, "He's over there now." I said, "Well, I'm going to let the air out of his tongue. I'm going to look for a Louisiana license plate, and he's going to have to call AAA." So I didn't. I'm just kidding. I slashed him right out there. So anyway, for some strange reason, he probably got sick, and I got the job. But it was great because it had everything I wanted. You know, you know, it had New Orleans, and my two youngest kids are mixed race, black and white, and all I can tell you is when I saw Gracie was 4 at the time, and we're going down the hallway, and I'm looking at these models, and Princess Tiana, I don't know if you remember, she starts off about 4 or 5 years old. Mm-hmm. You could not have told my daughter she wasn't Princess Tiana. There was no way. I said, yes, you are. Yes, you are, baby. You're damn right. Yes, you are. That's Daddy. I'm her. I said, yes, that is right. And I said, if you don't give me this job, I'm going to kick your ass because you done stole the picture of my kid and used as is. And she looks just exactly like, I got a picture of it. There's a picture of her sitting in a hat box, which looks just like, you'll never see the picture, it was only a model, it wasn't in the movie. But it looked just like her, and then it was like our family, and then, well, Gracie's Princess Tiana. And then I ad-libbed this little line about the Squeeze Box Club when he first sings, I'm gonna take you down, I'm gonna take you down. And I called her Lulu, and that's my other daughter's name. And so I snuck both my kids into the Princess and the Frogs.
Nice.
That's a long way to go. But anyway, that's kind of the way that I've always done it. You take the visual of the guy. I mean, you know, like Darkwing wasn't the biggest guy, so he wasn't going to exactly sound like Pete there from the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse there. That would be ridiculous there, pal. And he's not going to sound like a little bear who likes honey, that's for sure. But he sounds exactly like a duck. I guess. I don't know. Sunni, what can I say? So that's kind of, you know, it's a little combination of that, and then you pour in some of